Let's all roll for our hobby. Let's all roll for our hobby. Oh, let's all roll for our hobby to get ourselves a crit. Tipsy's drunk as shit. Onyx loves to hit. Ooh, Rock's magic is handy. Toot Toot's music is dandy. So let's all roll for our hobby to get ourselves a crit. Let's all roll for our hobby to get ourselves a crit.
Come, friend, now lend me an ear for a tale of Victor the Weird. He went on an adventure with he, him, and himself, and also his mighty fine beard. Now gather round, I'll tell you about this mighty beast. He may look as human, as mere as you, friend, but soon your eyes will feast upon this marvelous creature with many body parts. His one shirt may fool you, but what if I told you his chest had 4 red hearts? One mouth but 1,000 voices, one mind and limited choices, 2 handsome dice, 2 handsome dice. The audience rejoices. He's going to play D&D with him, himself, and he. Those are his pronouns, it's really profound. It's time for D&Me, featuring Victor and Victor and Victor, and Victor and Victor and Victor, and Victor and Victor and Victor and Victor and Victor and Victor. One knows who knows how many repeats. So come and sit down in an empty seat. It's time for D&Me. 2 eyes, 4 cheeks, 2 souls on his feet, 2 hands for winning and foes to defeat, 1 tongue, 2 lips through which to speak, but just one but.
Hey everybody, I'm Victor Rivera and this is D&Me, where I play with myself. I play D&D with myself, and welcome to episode 38. Right at the beginning, I wanted to say that I actually do have hello to Ski the Dwagon. Howdy, welcome in. I do have something written on this note card, and it is I play D&D with myself. So here at the beginning, I wanted to say that I have some new merch in the store. So that's Redbubble or the Convex Crimson. So in order to honor and immortalize this note card, then we have I play D&D with myself. So you can get that in like a sticker or t-shirts and stuff. And then because I also stream on PlayStation 5, I have and then so I play PS5 with myself, and then I play D&D and PS5 with myself. So that's all new in the store. And then also because I have I play with myself and that's part of my whole gig, then I have Play With Myself Station 5 written in the PlayStation 2 font, so that's going to be a sticker. And then, as you saw for the pre-show, then I have Let's All Roll for Our Hobby. I finished that today. We worked on it a lot last night, and I finished it today. So these are the final boys for the 1957 parody / satire of Let's All Go to the Hobby. Nope, let's all go to the lobby. So let's all roll for our hobby. So all of that is awesome. And then last but not least, oh, I'm so thirsty. I washed out my mug. So we got this last week, and now I can actually use it for real things. So, heck yeah! D&Pre show. The theme song was produced and performed by Bradley Owens. You can find them at Bradley Owens on Instagram. Bread, L-E-Y. And I was listening to that song just now, and it's so good still. All right. I just wanted to do those couple announcements. Stooky the Dwagon. I've always wanted to play D&D with myself, but don't know how to approach it. Any tips? Yes. So, this show, let's see, this is episode 38, but I have a bunch of D&Me extras, which are fun little behind-the-scene videos that you can find on Twitch or YouTube that, like, explain, and then I talk about it for a lot of other shows, like D&Me Like the Drink, which is a random Monday every month, where I grab a glass of something good, then chat about exactly this process. What works great for me is I have 4 characters, so Tipsy the Forest Gnome Rogue, Onyx the Dwarf Barbarian, Rock the Half-Orc Wizard, and Tutu the Loxodon Bard. And then, since I'm an actor by trade, that's my career, then what interests me the most is the dramatic irony. So it's really who knows what, and then differentiating and playing off of that. So, and the randomness of dice rolling, and what we're doing right now is actually working from an adventure in Candlekeep Mysteries, where I did not read what's in all of the rooms. So I read like the little prefix, the introduction for the episode, and then kind of what the big story is. But then actually knowing what's in each individual room, I don't know. So this is a couple episodes now, completely blind into it. So yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. But honestly, I think the best part about playing D&D with just myself would probably be the fact that since I'm both the DM and the characters, I can do whatever crazy ideas I want. Yes, that's very good. However, just know that as a DM and your characters will still derail what you have planned, which is great. Like, you can railroad them into what you want to do, but for example, this whole Candlekeep Mysteries, I planned for them going to a party, but now they're in a bathhouse / spa, hence the amazing terry cloth robes. But I wanted to honor what they talked with and came up with. Oh, so it's more fun to have the whole derail thing still happen? I think so. I personally think so. Because otherwise, it's like writing a novel, which is great, but if my characters actually talk themselves into doing something else, then I want to honor that instead of, well, no, this is what Victor spent 2 days straight working on. Then it's like, oh, well, that's even better. And so then it keeps going up. So those are my 2 cents. I've been doing this for 37 episodes and for almost 10 months. So that's what I think. I have a couple D&D research after the fact. First of all, I found this fun little picture of the different types of DMs, and then it was one of my D&Media brand posts this week. So I asked my audience who they thought D&Me was, and then I had 2 votes for Bard and Sorcerer. So that is Bard DM does the voices, great NPCs, lots of fun jokes. Yup. And then Sorcerer improvs everything, rule of cool, just in it for a good time. I say that exactly describes D&Me. And then I had a vote for each Warlock with a splash of Ranger and Cleric. So Warlock will tie in your backstory and make it hurt. And then Great Storyteller. I like it. Yes, I will do that every once in a while. I have the great storytelling all the time. Dodie or something in the chat says, it's also very fun to watch the derailing. Yeah. Thank you. And then Ranger DM, fantastic world building, makes maps, exploration. I am using a map for Candlekeep Mysteries, which we will go back to here in a second. And then Cleric DM, very sweet and friendly. Great at helping new players, knows the player's handbook by heart. I am still reading the player's handbook, but I know a lot of it. So that's really cool. I wanted to enjoy that with y'all. And then if you think I'm anything else, let me know. And then another D&D research after the fact. Let's go to my map. I'm the map. Oh, I don't have it up yet. So let me pull that up. Bop, bop, bop. Tiski the Dwagon. I know I'm saying that first part wrong, but let's see. Oh, bother. Wrong buttons. All right, almost there. The Restful Lily Bathhouse and Spa. Oh, I actually don't. Okay, yep. Everything's good. Just wanted to make sure. So, I forgot why I brought this up, but as I am continuing to bring this up... No, I remember. There we go. Whew! So, for the Restful Lily, D&D research after the fact, I was thinking about it. And numbering the rooms and the cubicles for them to change in, I figured out this would be the best. When you first enter into the place, then... Here, let me bring up my AWO. when you first enter into the place, then it would make sense to have number 1 on the left and then the last number on the right. So it follows that pattern for both these little cubicles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the left, and then 6 through 10 on the right. And then when you go into the guest hallway, then when you enter it, then number 1 is right there, and then you keep going down the hall, then 2, then 9 is all the way on the right, but you go down to hall 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I was wondering about that. At first, last episode, I said that it would be a bad idea to have that happen, and then I thought about it more, and I'm like, oh, that's completely what's going to happen. So Tuski is actually my fursona. She's kind of one of my characters I have, although they're not for D&D at all. She's supposed to be like a fluffy cosmic dragon eldritch goddess of entropy. That's awesome. With the cosmic stuff, we have Spelljammer coming out, so that'll totally work. And then you could totally have a dragonborn. That's great. I like it. Yeah, you can... I really like the challenge of translating characters into D&D. There's a couple great accounts that translate well-known literary and fiction characters into 5e characters, which I think is awesome because it's a formula that relates to kind of everything. All right, so that was D&D research after the fact. Let me keep looking at my notes. All right, that's it. So here we are. Oh, okay. First, quick question. How exactly do you separate your DM knowledge from your character's knowledge? That's a good question. So I'm separating that. DM knows everything going on, but as a good DM does, you sparse out information sporadically. So you tell your characters when you're playing, like, this is what they would know, or this is what they would find out. Ooh, hold on. Great. So the auto mod caught this, but I allowed it. So, because I feel that's the hardest part of playing with yourself. Wacka wacka. Thanks, auto mod. But you separate your DM knowledge from your character's knowledge. It's part of, especially since I have a show doing this, then my DM knowledge, I also remember what the audience knows themselves. So what I tell my characters is kind of what the audience knows as the characters also. So there's a couple moments of dramatic irony where I do withhold stuff. Like I have the scene where the characters know what's going on, but I withhold it from the audience. So it's kind of shuffling all of that in, and it's a great, beautiful mess, and I love it. So here we go. We have D&Recap. So episode 37, Bad Feeling. The boys then enter the Restful Lily's lounge where they meet the bathhouse bookkeeper, Morgana. Tipsy and Onyx drink to access. Rock gets his nails done, leaving Toot the only sober, clear-minded one. Waddles investigates a back storage room. Then my boys wander into mysterious hallways, which turn out to house guest rooms. Tipsy picks one of the locks to one of the vacant rooms, and after my boys emerge back into the hallway, an employee stops them, leading to an excellent cliffhanger. So here we go. Where we last left off. That's almost it. There we go. So, as we have over here, for the hallways to the rooms, then all four of my boys emerge from room number 7, where they pick the lock to go into the room that this employee here at the top was just turning over. And then they explored a little bit, and then they left the hallway, and then I rolled a natural 1 just to see if anything happened. So the worst case scenario happened, where that employee was coming back with even more freshly folded, clean towels and sheets, and then caught them. And Rock tried to cast suggestion for them just to keep moving on, but it failed. And Rock then learned that this nameless employee, is immune to charm, and then Toot started running down the hallway. So I spent all week thinking about this, but I found I digest every episode like the night of by taking a walk afterwards, so I figured it out in the walk. But Toot Toot will then run after the nameless employee. Well, that is a sticky situation. Yeah, right? Because they're not supposed to be back there. Toot Toot will run after the nameless employee and then go, excuse me, yes. Stopping the employee who's looking suspiciously at this 7'3" Loxodon charging at him. I'm sorry about that. What my half-orc friend was talking about was that, especially working here for however long you have, four gentlemen leaving one room is a little tricky, but we actually literally just rented out that room. So we were just checking it out, and then we were looking at the other rooms as well. So we're just situating ourselves, and we didn't want it to, be construed in an inappropriate manner. And then Toot Toot will roll. Let's see, that's deception. So +6. That's a 17 plus 6. Woo! 23. And then my nameless employee will roll insight, which is wisdom, against that. And with an 11 plus nothing, then the employee with squinted eyes looks at Tutu the Loxodon Bard, who's right up close to him, and then looks down the hall at the other boys, tipsy, emerging. Like, he sees the half-orc wizard that told him to maybe, ignore this. And then to that left, then the half-dwarf, the dwarf barbarian, just standing at the very corner of the hallway. And then behind the half-orc wizard, then this forest gnome peeks his head out.
Hi, yeah, what he said.
And then the employee... You can feel the tension alleviate, and then the employees. And then now with no urgency, then the employee will slowly walk past Toot Toot, very much treading the waters, feeling things out. And when you pass someone and then your periphery's 100% on, and then you pass them watching them, and you're about to react if they do anything, but Toot Toot makes a very clear point of leaning back up against the end of the hallway, that wall, the door to number 4, and then the nameless employee just keeps going, comes over here to number 8, and then pulls out some keys from his pocket, and then staring at Rock, who airily just waves. And then the nameless employee, super easy, barely an inconvenience. Yeah, but if he didn't roll that well, that was a 17 plus 6. So that was the dice narrative wanted that to happen. So that's great. So then the nameless employee kind of just blocks the view of him at the door, and then opens the door, and then goes inside, and then closes it pretty quickly. And then Rock Rock and then Tipsy and then Onyx go towards the end of the building, the end of the hallway, and then go,
so we need to go. I feel that we need to go rent that room right now.
And then Toot Toot, oh yes, we absolutely need to. So here we go. Let us go. So Toot Toot leads the way back into the lounge, Rock following. Doot. Rock following, then Tipsy, and then Onyx. Look at my little tokens. Aren't they cute? So now they need to find either Peggy or Morgana or Saith. So let's... Toot Toot. Toot Toot will actually just keep going and then go out into the lobby where Saith... Ooh, I need a token for Saith. Hold, please. Here's my token creator, y'all. If I ever need to make a token real fast, then here we go. Saith will have a yellow-orange background, yeah. And then he will be with kind of a mop of dark red hair, dark brown. It's a little weird, but it's okay. Speed art. Select inverse. Okay, and then just bop, bop, bop. Okay, that's cute. So, Saith is here. Cool. Yes. And that is Saith. So, Saith is still at the desk in the lobby, and he's preparing some paperwork and just, like, straightening up his desk and checking over books and pages of numbers and stuff. And then Tutu comes up. Hello, Saith. I was wondering if we may rent out rooms for tonight. And then all my boys catching up. Bop, 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 bop. And then Saith looks up at all four of them coming in. Oh, why, yes, of course. And then Tipsy chimes in.
Especially room number 7, please. Room number 7, which I believe is unoccupied.
Then Saith kind of, you can see like a puzzled and calculating look. All right, let me, so lodging for visitors who want to stay overnight at the temple is available at a cost of 4 gold pieces per person. So it's interesting that you chose number 7 because that's one of the only single occupancy rooms. But that's fine. So for the other rooms, do you want number 7 for the gnome? Do you want 2 other rooms or 3 other rooms? Then Onyx chimes in. I can sleep on Tipsy's floor, that's fine. Oh, alright, so and then he points up at, I'm gonna head out for now. Thank you for stopping by, Dwagon. I really appreciate it. And tune in, like, look at all my other stuff. And then if you have any questions, let me know, and I can tell you all about how to play with yourself. So, thank you again. And then Saith, like, points at the 2 tall intellectuals and go, so just 1 room for both of you or 2 rooms? Because that's, again, one of the only single occupancy. We have another single occupancy room. And then Tutu, no. We can split a room, so whichever one has, we've shared a room before, but like in a just as friends, we don't, not that, all the spectrum of sexuality is, as long as you have consent, then and then Saith holds up a hand. It's all right, man. You can do whatever you want. This is a bathhouse where not a lot of questions are asked. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So 2 rooms, please. 4 gold pieces a person. So Tipsy, Onyx, and then Onyx grumbles. Oh, come on! I had to pay 5 gold to get in here, and then Tipsy's like,
yeah, I don't want to pay for. I mean, no. Oh, hey, we got yay, woohoo, yippee, ha.
And then Rock slowly, like bashfully, turns to his coin purse and Tutu, I got you, Rock. You save your money for spells because I have plenty of money to cover all of us. And then Rock, oh, thank you, because he was going to his coin purse, a little slowly when you're at a dinner and then the check comes and then you're, oh yeah, let me think about reaching into my pocket for my wallet. So that's another 4 gold off of everyone's thing. Let's do it, Future Victor. We're going to do it off the coin sheet. So, bop, bop, room, and then bop, room. Excellent. So, Saith then hands over keys for number 7 to Tipsy. I should write that down too. All right. Key to locker number, then room number 7. And then he hands over a key to Rock and Toot Toot, which will be... Oh. I have so many things now because I have a bunch of, I have 4 books that I'm just keep opening and leafing through because this is like a blind adventure. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Cool. So, there's a choice between room number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 9. So 1, 2, 2, and then he hands Toot Toot over the key to number 2, and then room number 2. Excellent. So, yeah, crisis averted. Hot dog. So then they kind of they take the keys and head. Toot Toot says, "Okay." They go into the lounge. They go into the lounge, and Toot Toot goes, "Okay, so should we? I guess we're staying here tonight. But that'll give us more time to look for circumstance, so that's good. Do we go get our stuff out of the footlockers and then put it in our rooms? Or do we just leave it there? Okay. 1 and 2, they will move their stuff from the locker rooms into their rooms, and then 3 through 6, they'll just leave the stuff in the 5, okay. You know what? Never mind. Let's leave our stuff in the locker room, and then I think we've explored... Oh, should we even check out our rooms first? No, it's fine. Because there's a couple more places in this building that we could explore. So, should we... I think, gentlemen, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we should go into the actual bath house now. Because that was a close call in the hallway, and I would prefer not to be out there.
And Tipsy goes, "Yeah, let's keep going. My buzz is wearing off."
And Onyx says, "Yeah, my buzz is wearing off too." And then Rock, who's just kind of weaving his fingers in the air.
Yes, whatever you were saying. Let's do it.
And then Toot Toot leads them into... Yeah, he wants to lead them into these doors. Because he gets a little skeeved out by Saith. So, let's do... I'm thinking how they would all enter doors now, so that's interesting. But we have another nameless employee. Right here, where they were doing Rock's nails and just watching them pass. And then we have another nameless employee behind the bar here. And then we have nameless customers. Nope, wrong one. Bop. Which one's like right there? And then another one is like right here. And then we had some nameless customers out in the... Let's have like 3. Boop. Nice. Okay. So, now they will enter into these double doors, which Victor doesn't know what it is. So, let's kick back over to my boys relaxing in some robes. La la la. That was nice for Tusky the Dwagon to come in. asking very good questions about how to play Dungeons and Dragons with yourself. So, this one. So, then, I should look to what that actually is, because I thought it was going to be the bathhouse, but it ain't. Oh, interesting. Okay. So Toot Toot pokes his head in and go, "Oh, this wasn't the bathhouse. I thought like it was just gonna be north. But let me at least look into these doors to see if there are windows." So this is a lot of paragraphs, so excuse me as I read this. Woo! That's a lot of stuff. Wow. So, Toot Toot pokes his head into this hallway and then looks at doors, and then it's just it's a door labeled 1 and 2. Let's see. 2 and then bam. 1. Well, let's make it a little bit bigger than that. 1, 2. Cool. So he just he can hear like splashing to his left, so through that wall. But in this hallway it's dimly lit, and like there's a lot of the smelly thing on a stick that you burn. It smells very not pungent, but it smells thickly in here of spices and herbs. So he looks, and it's a darkly, dimly lit hallway, and there are 2 wooden doors, and some really soft, soothing music playing. And he looks in, and neither of them are open. And he can... Whoa! He goes out to the end of the hallway and then sees a door where across the way he sees a pathway leading off to the right. And then I don't know what these things are. So let me take a look real quick. Gosh, this is amazing. It's such a different experience from all the other stuff. Ooh, wowie, wow. Okay. Okay, sorry. Trying to figure out how to do this the best. Oh, okay. I know what I was messing up. What the bling blap? Oh, okay. I'm getting it. Okay. So, yay, I did it right. Perfect. So he looks out across the way, and then he sees 2 buildings. One is a building on the left, and then a cylindrical building on the right. And are there windows? I guess, yes, there are windows on the one on the left, but they don't look like a big bank of windows that you would expect from like the pool section. And then on the right, there is a small window, but it's kind of a couple stories tall, this cylindrical building. And he goes, well, I hear the splashing to my left. So then Toot Toot comes back into the lounge with the boys, and then they would make their way to the door here, and then through the door back into the lounge, where Saith then snaps to attention and then follows them with his torso, which is quite unsettling. And then they would go into these double doors, and then let's see if this is finally it. Stop. Hey, that looks like a thing. Yes. Now they enter into the bath and hot spring. A floor of polished white marble surround a large central pool of steaming turquoise water in this large open-air bath. Stone pillars stand along the outside wall, sculpted with relief carvings of Sun, the goddess of love and beauty. Between the pillars, frosted windows diffuse the light from outside through the mist that hangs in the air. So, boy, there's a lot of information, y'all. This is fabulous. So, let's put a little something. Bop. Right there. Cool. So these colored question marks are NPCs. And I knew I wanted them in this room. I didn't know where until I saw it. So. Bop. How cool. All right. I really like me doing an adventure blind. It's really cool. It's making me play like more of like a player rather than a grand omnipresent omnidirectional. What's the one where you know stuff? Omni-knowing storyteller. But the thing is, when it gives me 2 pages of really cool stuff to read, then I don't love the lull in me reading it on, like, using up y'all's time when I want to give you as much story. That's some good non-alcoholic water, TM. All right. So, oh, that's my hair. Oh, cool. Amazing. So, I knew I wanted these 3 NPCs, these question marks, in this room, but there happens to be a 4th thing in this room. So, let me... That's amazing. Duplicate layer. Green copy. Let's do a nice teal. Yeah, that's good. Well, shoot. I should have done this. There we go. Bop. So, inside you see the hot spring and these ancient Greek amphitheater steps leading down, and it's warm in here, but again you can hear bum, 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 bum. Nice little ambient music playing, and there is mist because the waters are warm, and it's kind of like a spa area, like the sauna. So inside we see a older gold dragonborn. To the left in front of us is just this big old puffball of different brown colored hair. Then further on in, kind of shrouded in the mist, are 2 other figures. One is kind of standing on the water and then like diving deep, and then like disappearing into the depths and then appearing elsewhere, and is just frolicking in the water. And then one further deeper in. So this brown question mark turns around, and you see this giant brown puffball, this circle of hair, not quite in the water, but whose feet are going towards the water. And then as it turns around, then it, oh wow, hi, hello, and then it was dipping its feet into the first step into the water. So then it stands up and then turns around, and this, nope, wrong one. This, boop, bop. So as you can see from the token, this short, stout, wide dwarf stands up and then walks over to my boys who just fully came in. Let's see. Tipsy would go over here. Onyx would be here. Toot here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Then the dwarf walks in and walks over. The dwarf has this big old, hugely bushy brown beard, and it's like scraggled and wiry hair. And on top of his head is also a huge mane of flyaways, but it's a slightly different color, brown. It as you look at it, then it's a more and more differently brown than the beard, and it has a mustache. But there's something like the browns aren't really working well with each other. And the dwarf walks up. Oh, hello. It's really good to meet you. Are you here to enjoy these waters that we are here around? And Toot, oh, hello. But then this dwarf goes, I'm sorry, I was talking to you. And then he points over at Onyx, and this dwarf is like looking him up and down and really admiring him. Whoa, you are really, really tall. And then Onyx kind of huffs. Yeah, I know. Oh, okay. Tall, really tall for a dwarf. And look at your hair. Then this dwarf kind of goes up to Onyx and starts like putting up his hands and wiggling his fingers around, looking hungrily at his stark white braided beard that has hair vertebra as hair ties down his front, and then turning around, then these really thick dreadlocks going all the way down to like his waist. Wow, this is amazing. Thanks. Onyx looks awkwardly at the other boys as this dwarf is kind of grasping at him. Really remarkable hair and beard. So, same with me. And then he steps back and kind of opens himself up to be admired by the party, and the party, yes, look at you. And then all 4 of my boys will roll, actually, because this, what's this thing? Oh, nice. That's the bard. Cool. Great. So yes, all 4 of my boys will roll perception because this is opening. This dwarf is presenting himself. Tipsy is going,
Yeah, man, that's really awesome.
with a 6 plus a perception. Okay, that's a 14. 6 plus an 8, 14. Toot toot. Yes. Well, with an 11 plus a 3, so 14 as well. So they both ended up rolling the lowest anyways. Tipsy's like,
Uh-huh.
staring up at this weird dwarf, and then Toot Toot, yes, yes, yes. And then he's looking over the dwarf's head at the other beings in the room and is desperately seeking any sign of circumstance. And then Onyx, with a 16 plus 2 perception, is staring at the dwarf and is noticing that something's not quite right. But then Rock, with a natural 20 plus 1 for perception, so 21, then he can see the dwarf opening up and then like quickly patting down his mustache a little bit. And then as he's opening up, then Rock notices that this dwarf, Rock looks down at Onyx, who's like tilting his head. But Onyx already, like, besides this really stark braided beard and dreadlocks, like, he has, I don't, but he has the high cheek line of hair and like a full mustache and these big old bushy, angry resting bitch face eyebrows that are like diagonal on his face. But then also Onyx has this really striking white arm hair and like on the back of his hands and on his knuckles. And looking at the rest of Onyx, then like there's hair sticking out of the back of his collar and stuff. But looking at this dwarf, then not only is the hair color from his beard and his mustache and the head on his hair all different, but he has no eyebrows and no body hair whatsoever. And Rock, interesting, he says out loud. And then the dwarf, oh, what? It's fine. And then he like moves the beard and then makes sure that his hair is kind of like straight, and you can see all of it move on him. It's fine. And then he looks over at Onyx, but I have really good hair, huh? And then Onyx goes, yeah, it's fine. Hey, are you noble? And then this dwarf goes, well, actually, I am. So thank you for noticing. I am part of the Gallblast. I am a noble from the Citadel Adbar. And you might have heard of me. You might have heard of me. You might have heard of me. I'm Chainco, as in chain, because dwarfs are known for forging, as you know. And then he gestures over at Onyx, and Onyx goes, I don't know. Wait, what, you don't know? Like, chain as in links on a chain and metal work? Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. And then the dwarf goes, well, hold on a second. If you don't know Chainco, then are you not familiar with the dwarven city stronghold far to the north? And then Onyx goes, not really. And then this dwarf furrows no eyebrows. And then, so his confused look you can't really, it lessens the effect, I guess. But he goes, well, where is your clan from? Oh, I don't, like, you said, and then Onyx points up at Rock. You said you were from, well, I don't think you said. Toot Toot is from Revelton. And Tipsy, where are you from?
I'm from... Thanks for asking. Let me turn to my maps. I think it's called... Nope, not that one. Venfar! That's where I came from.
Yes, Toot Toot chimes in. I'm from Udapas. Well, the Sandless Desert, but... And then the dwarf interrupts the non-dwarves talking, goes, wait, do you not have a clan? And then Toot Toot goes, no, then Onyx goes, oh, these guys are my clan. No, I'm talking about if you're a mountain dwarf or a hill dwarf. Oh, I don't know. And then Chainco, like, leans in. Hold on, there's a very specific sentence I need to say. To be clanless is the worst fate that can befall a dwarf, he says very seriously, staring close to Onyx. And then he speaks even quieter. Then also, you have an orc in your party. Yeah, I know. His name's Rock, and he does, like, magic and stuff. And then, really, you can see these bald eyebrows super fro until Chainco's eyes are just merely dots. And he goes, but dwarfs, but orcs are really, really bad. And then Onyx goes, no, if anything, this orc is bad at staying up on his feet. Got him. Hey, Rock, because you keep falling down and hurting yourself and getting hit and stuff. And then Rock goes, Onyx, I believe he's talking about the generational tension between orcs and dwarves. I was surprised myself when you weren't alarmed at my presence when we were first getting along, but there has been some years of turmoil, and by years I mean hundreds of years, turmoil. The dwarves, like most races, to give them credit, dwarves have a deep-seated hatred for orcs. And then Onyx, blah. Yes, a burning hatred of orcs that are common threads that unite all dwarfs. So, orcs don't really get a good name. I'm trying to remedy that, but this gentleman is speaking from a more traditional dwarvish stance. Onyx says, no, Rock says very measured. And then Chainco goes, okay, well, if you would like to know more about this place, then let me know. I'm excited to get the magical transformations.
Gall darn it.
Yeah, the magic treatments. Mine's of a personal nature, but what are you expecting to get? I don't know. Like the manicure and the drinks and stuff? No. The magical treatments that the Temple of the Restful Lily, it is known. It is known among the more elite folk of the Sword Coast, so you are not of a true dwarvish background. And then Onyx, No, I'm from an Onyx background. But are you here to better yourselves, or I don't think to look younger is really a goal. Maybe I've heard that people come here to really buff out their stats. And Rock, who again is using his words very carefully, I'm afraid we don't know what you mean. And then Chenko kind of scoffs. Of course you don't. Hey, watch it, all right? I don't know you. I know Rock. So Rock's a great guy. So watch it with your racism, all right? As Onyx's cheeks start to warm up, then Chenko, all right. I'm just saying, people don't just normally stumble into the restful lily. So, I'm just going to, and then Chenko kind of steps backwards a little bit, and not pictured here, I would imagine that there are like the fold-outy poolside seats. So he kind of, and then he like sidesteps and then just hangs out over here. No, he hangs out over here, putting his feet back in just the tops of his feet, which are, like, again, there's no body hair on this guy. So he goes over there, and then Onyx, really taken aback and insulted, looks up at Rock. So wait, dwarves hate orcs? And then Rock goes, well, dwarves hate orcs, elves hate orcs, humans hate orcs. I'm not sure Loxodons are new to me, but a lot of creatures don't take kindly to orcs, so thank you all for truly accepting me as one of your own. That means a lot, and breaking generational wheels with you, Onyx. You are actually, as I mentioned earlier, you would make an excellent orc, which, coming from my mouth, is meant to be a proper compliment, but I'm impressed that you don't adhere to the more the toxic and perhaps more intolerant lineage. So, thank you. And then Rock reaches down and kind of squeezes Onyx's head towards Rock's body, and Onyx, yeah, man, I got you, all right? Don't listen in front. That guy was weird. And then Rock says, you know what? I believe, in a hushed tone of voice, I believe that none of that hair is real. And Onyx, let me tell you a little something about dwarves. Dwarves really value their hair. So I imagine that personal reason that he is here might have to do with that. And Rock reaches out and tugs on one of the braids of the beard, and he might be a little jealous of this. And then Onyx goes, what? And Tipsy goes,
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I can see the mustache sliding off right now.
to which Chenko, like, throws up his hands and kind of eavesdropping, but is now focused very intently down on his feet. So, Toot Toot, who wasn't really paying attention to all of that interaction, goes, yes, fine. Here, let me... And then he walks over to this golden question mark. And then what he sees in front of him, and my boys will join him as well. Onyx and Tipsy are kind of just at the entrance and staring into the mist and at Chainco. So, Toot Toot heads over to the closest NPC, and as he approaches, then it's this frail golden dragonborn, a dragonborn of golden ancestry, and she's sitting kind of at the edge of the water also. Oh, here, let me switch this out. Let's bring up my gold dragonborn. Bop.
Who looks so sad.
Bop. So they go up to this gold dragonborn who's sitting there, and it's frail, and you can see like it is very emaciated, where you can see almost the outline of all the bones in this female dragonborn, and she's looking down, and in her lap is an open spellbook, to which Rock gasps. But instead of what we would see over Rock's shoulder of intricate, eloquent cursive and really tidy handwriting and graphs and numbers and charts and really decked out wizardry and copied spells and magic notes about this, that, and the other, then this open spellbook has doodles. And you can see, well, Rock would totally look. So Rock would investigate, and Toot Toot will investigate. So Rock and Toot Toot. Rock rolled a 10 plus a 6, so 16 altogether. Toot Toot rolled a 3 plus 2. All right. What's that button? Oh, okay. So a 16 and a 15, then both of them look at the spell book, and you could see it's halfway open in her lap, and then she's kind of moving her feet up and down in the water and making little splashes, and then she is staring down and then is doodling like almost very childish drawings, and with a big marker, and she's doodling like a flat cow with the legs, with the 4 legs on one side, and like the flounder head staring straight at us, and a sun, which is a circle and 10 rays coming out of it, and a straight line for the horizon, and like a house. And she's drawing those things, but also you can see like just triangles and circles and geometric patterns, like what you do when you doodle when you're on the phone. And Tutu comes up. Hello. I was wondering if you enjoy this this necklace that I'm wearing. And so he kind of holds out his pan flute necklace with the doppelganger coin golden dragon tied to it with the purple opal inside. And this dragonborn looks up and, it's nice. And Toot Toot, well, thank you. I was wondering, like, if those golden scales, those are really nice too, he says. And the dragon looks down simply. You can see that it takes a little bit for this dragonborn to like process what's being said, because she looks up at the necklace with kind of drifty eyes and swaying a little bit forward and backwards, and then her eyebrows raise and she looks down at her scales, and like she lifts them up, and you can tell that there's a weakness to this body, and she holds up her arm and is like looking around her scales, and with one of her clawed talons pokes at it. Nice. Gold. And then she's like picking at one of the scales and trying to take it off. And then Rock, who sees a flash of Page in this dragonborn, like rests his purple hand on top of the very bony claw of this dragonborn, and it's all right. Is that a spell book? Book. Yes, spell book. I'm a wizard. I have a spell book just like that. And then he takes out his spell book and kind of sits next to the dragonborn on this side, and he puts his he sets his feet in the water and then opens up. Would they have sandals? It doesn't really matter. Flip-flops. He opens up his spellbook in his lap and shows off the very intricately again, cursive and longhand and all of his magical notes. And then the Dragonborn pokes over with one bony finger. And then she looks down at her spellbook and then starts flipping back through the pages so you can see what were really childlike drawings, big fat Sharpie marker. And then as we go to the front of the book, as she's flipping through pages, then there are sentences, simple sentences that were big blocky letters, and then they tighten down and there are more sentences. And as she's flipping through, then we're getting to the front of the book, and then there are the pages of just blocks of text, and again, really nice handwriting and figures, and then different mathematical equations and math notes and magic notes. And then she flips to the front and then book, and she points at her book to the rock spell book and then back. And then at the front page we see A.U. Golden Dragonborn, a wizard of conjuration magic, and then Rock goes, "Oh, so you are a A.U." And then this Dragonborn, me, Amy. Oh, Amy? No, A.U. And then she points up at Rock, and Rock is feeling like this emotional turmoil inside him, because he can tell that something is very wrong. This is a wizard, and looking down at her spell book, then these are high level spells, and something must have happened between the front of this spell book to the middle. And Rock goes, are you okay? A-U. Okay. A-U. Okay. And Rock looks up at Toot Toot with some severity. Something is very wrong here. I don't know. I didn't want to say anything earlier, but I've been a little lightheaded recently. And I'm afraid. And then Rock holds up his hand to AU's sight, and AU's staring at the hand with wide eyes. And then Rock carefully, slowly puts his hand on the back of AU, and then you could just feel AU's shoulders go up and then relax, and then she goes back to the middle of the book and just starts scribbling again, and then turning a page, next page, and the drawings get even simpler. Toot Toot, something is very wrong, and I feel that we should not be here for much longer than we need to be, okay? AU. Amy? Yes. Hello. I am Rock. R-O-Q. Rock, the half-orc wizard, the purple wizard. Can you tell me, at the front of your spellbook, and Rock at this point is having quiet tears stream down his face. At the front of your spellbook, it says AU, Golden Dragon born, and that's you. And can you tell me what happened? And then AU is looking up, and she makes a sad face, and then reaches out for Rock's face, and sad. Yes. This isn't great. Can you tell me what happened? This place. How long have you been here? May I take a look at your spellbook to see? Are you okay? You okay? And then Tutu goes, fuck this. This is bad. Okay. Let us. Okay. Rock, can you help her? And then Rock will go, I will try my damnedest. Can I take a look at this book? Very nice book. AU says, and is nodding, but with her whole body and shaking a hand. And
Rock, oh, thank you. Very nice book. Oh, the cover. Could you put the marker away, please? And then I will hand you my spell book to look through.
And then AU holds up the marker and takes the cap off of the back of it. And then AU, oh boy, that really hit me. AU will roll something. 15, but at disadvantage. Okay, she rolled a 19, but that 15 minus 4. So then she takes the cap off and then is like turning the marker over in her hand, and she is looking at the cap and then back at the marker and can't figure out what to do. And so then she forgot what she was doing, so she's trying to put the cap back on the back of the marker. And then with this, then Rock will take her spellbook and then plop it down in his lap, and then he would read just as much as he can, as quick as he can. And I've thought about the mechanics of Rock reading, and I will say that he's like a speed reader. So I don't know, ooh, future Victor, if that is a like feat or a class feature. But he will like super fastly read, because he read like a third of the Manual of Quickness of Action just on a whim, just as recreational reading. But it took Tipsy so long to read a third of it. So he will start reading. Let's see, what is... I just said conjuration. I pulled that on my butt. But what is the Schools of Magic? Oh, what was the... Ooh, I might have that on my phone. Ba-doom. Excuse me. As I look back through my notes. Because I want to say something smart. There it is. Okay, cool. Cool, yeah. So he starts reading, and then he is figuring out that AU was a gold dragonborn wizard, and her spell is mostly focused on conjuration and transmutation. So conjuration is you make a frog appear, and then transmutation, you turn someone into a frog. That's the new tomato metaphor. And I have a thing later on that will describe the other schools of magic. But then he's reading through that and going, okay, AU, you were pretty powerful, huh? And then, come on. And then finally struggling, but getting the cap back on the back of the marker, then AU is, with childlike wonder, staring happily at a completed task of resheathing a marker. Hoof! So with that, then Toot Toot will look up, and then he looks at this. Yes, very good. He is here standing on the corner of two staircases going down into the water, and he is looking over to his left and sees Rock the Purple, the half-orc wizard, sitting with AU, the golden dragonborn wizard, who something is wrong with that. And then he looks across the way to Chainco, who is nervously fidgeting, and he looks up at Onyx and Rock. Nope. Onyx and Tipsy, who are just starting to wade into the water because they don't really have much good stuff to do. And then Toot Toot, feeling his head tighten from the things that have happened in the past couple episodes, how this is a bathhouse and a spa, but something fundamentally doesn't feel right, and he can't put a finger on what it is. And then he looks up at In the middle of this hot spring is two eyes poking out of the surface of the water, and then this teal hair drifting on top, drifting on the surface of the water. And Toot Toot, all right. And then with determination, then he starts wading into the water, and then this kind of dark seafoam green skin kind of pokes up, curious and interested at Toot Toot stepping into the water, and then rising up is this female form, and as she does, it looks like the water is just collecting on her and is drifting down in this flowy dress of an outfit as she just hovers upward and is standing on the surface of this water, and her hair, this seaweed almost, is just drifting around, and her form is shifting about, and she looks curiously as Toot Toot starts to wade from his feet to his knees and like starts to get in deep, heading straight for her. And that is where I'm going to take intermission, because my energy drink and my water is going through me, and that rock interaction with AU, that's one of the times I've teared up during this show. So that's amazing. Oh dear, I don't remember. I think Tipsy intermission was last week. Oh boy. Was Tipsy interaction last week, or was Onyx's intermission? I think it was Tipsy. Let me show you Onyx's just in case. No, you know what? Screw it. We're going to go out of order in case it was, I don't remember which. So we're going to have Rock's intermission, which explains the School of Magic. So here we go. I will be right back after I get some water and use the restroom. So 2 minutes starting now.
And 3, 2, 1. Hello, I'm Rock the Half-Orc Wizard, and I wanted to explain to you something that I found on the internet, so thank you, BONADZZ. This is the explanation of the 8 schools of magic. So illusion, you make someone look like a frog. Transmutation, you turn someone into a frog. Enchantment, you make someone think they're a frog. Conjuration, you make a frog appear. Abjuration, you protect the frog. Evocation, you kill the frog. Necromancy, you revive the dead frog. Divination, you know it was actually a toad and not a frog the whole time. So that is similar to the tomato theory for the 6 ability scores. So for strength, it's how hard you can throw a tomato. Dexterity, how quick you can duck a thrown tomato. Constitution, how well you can hold up eating a rotten tomato. Intelligence, knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom, knowing that a tomato does not belong in a fruit salad. And then charisma, how well you can sell a fruit salad with tomato in it. So those are the 8 schools of magic, and then the 6 ability scores. Thank you very much. Bye.
Hi, I'm Victor Rivera. This is D&Me, where I play with myself. I play D&D with myself. This is an actual play show 5th edition where I DM and play 4 characters of campaigns past. Hi, I'm Tipsy the Forest Gnome Rogue. We stream Wednesday nights on Twitch, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we throw the video up on YouTube Thursday mornings. And I have a rat named Waddles. He's cute.
I'm Onyx the Dwarf Barbarian. We do other stuff.
I'm Rock the Half-Orc Wizard. We do D& Artistry and Art Stream on Tuesday nights, and D&Me'd Like the Drink one Monday a month, where we grab a glass of something good and chat about how D&Me's going, answering audience questions, but mostly going on tipsy tangents. That's me!
And I am Toot Toot the Loxodon Bard.
If you want to catch up with the current campaign, listen to the first episodes in their edited podcast form, which you can find on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and others. And if you want to catch up even quicker, watch D&Recaps, where we summarize 5 episodes of D&Me at a time. And we also have D&Me Extras, which are fun little behind-the-scene videos. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and a bunch of other places where? On our link tree, that's linktr.ee/DNMeAdventures and like gnome. Thanks!
We're so professional.
All right. Interesting. So, Toot Toot is now wading through, and you get very much a sense of Toot Toot. As you see him sloshing through the water, you get how mighty and majestic elephants are when they're wading through water, and then how their trunks going up so that they can snorkel, and really cool. But there's like this presence and force to him, and then shifting all that weight of water. And then this fey creature is looking down at him interestedly. And then Toot Toot goes, "Madam, my name is Toot Toot the Loxodon Bard, and we are here to help a friend. But something is not quite right. Can you help us?" And then this woman looks down. And then she will roll, actually, with advantage because something happened. Let's do this. 3. Oh, boy. And a 12. 12. All right. With a 12 wisdom modifier, with a 0 wisdom modifier to that 12, then she looks down.
"Well, you have passed the first test. How may I help?"
We are looking for a nobleman who is probably not that. Then Toot Toot shifts his head over to Chainco, who's sitting and staring kind of twitchedly at Toot Toot, and then the dwarf and the gnome, and he's like adjusting his wig and fake beard. We are looking for a nobleman, and we just want to pass along a message to help them. So, but there seems to be more here, and we were wondering for any help. And then Toot Toot with persuasion. That's a 12 plus 8. Whoa, a 20. All right. And then interesting.
"Well, what I can tell you is that I am Serena, and this is my hot spring. I am bound to it, and you must be pure of heart in order to enter the waters."
And Toot Toot, wow. Well, that means a lot. Thank you for your permission to enter into this space, Serena. But can you help me? Something is not right with this place.
"I agree. 10 years ago, the owner of this bathhouse disappeared, and then 3 new owners came in to take her place. She was a good friend of mine. She was devoted to Seun, the goddess of love and beauty. The 3 new owners are not. I have not seen Silvari in 10 years. If you can help find Silvari, then I can help you with the 3.
Silvari, all right. That name rings a bell. I will help find Silvari if you help me find my friend. Well, not even a friend. I don't know who they are. So your friend disappeared 10 years ago. Do you think they're still here?
I do feel them in the space. The water does not lie.
Okay, so the water does not lie. All right. Thank you, Serena. We are just trying to do good. And then she says, your physical might and your intimidating presence as a tall, strong Loxodon may be attractive to some, she says very purposefully. But she holds up a watery finger. The pure heart will end up doing the most damage, she says, reaching out to Toot Toot. Unfortunately, that doesn't help me. That's very cryptic and vague. Great. Savari. We'll look for Savari as we look for circumstance. Okay. And then Toot Toot, who kind of feels like he got all the information out of this NPC, because then she splashes down and then he can't see her in the depths of the water, and he's chest high, which is pretty dang tall in this deep end, and he is now closer and looks over to see this in the green question mark. He will wade, and this is a nice video game feel because I have the question marks, which are representative of like open quests in video game mechanics and layout. So then he wades over to this last one, which is the green question mark, and he wades up and sees this very handsome, pale-skinned elf who is just reclining and who's sitting chest high on the stairs and letting the water kind of lap over him. And he's leaning back on the stairs, and he has like some really nice folded up robes and clothes right behind him. And he himself is prone with 2 slices of cucumbers on his eyes and like a face mask, and like a guacamole face mask, and a couple other folded up clothes in his belongings over to his just behind him, sitting on the dry floor. And Toot Toot walks up to him. Hello, are you enjoying your time here? And then this elf kind of sits up a little bit and takes off like really lazily and prim and proper, removes one of his cucumber slices and looks up at this Loxodon, and then straightens up and notices that this Loxodon is coming from the middle of the waters and not behind him holding a platter of something, and he goes,
Yes, I'm enjoying myself quite much. Thank you very much.
and then he puts the cucumber back on and lays back down in the water. Good. Really nice to hear that. How do you like my necklace?
I do not care about your necklace.
Please, we are looking for someone of interest, and I just need you to look at this necklace, please. And then, with a heavy sigh, then this elf takes a cucumber off and then notices Toot Toot holding forward the pan flute and the doppelganger koi tied around it. And then through one eye, then this elf looks at it and then goes,
Oh, bother. What do you want?
or in a hushed tone of voice, are you Circumstance?
I could be many things, boy. What do you want?
Oh, thank goodness we found you. Which then, let me replace the green question mark with... Nope, wrong one.
with this green circle.
What do you want?
Oh, good. We came here to relay a message to you. Would it be safe here, or would you prefer to go to a quieter place?
I don't... Let me just enjoy my time here.
I'm afraid that this message is of the utmost importance and urgency, and it took us quite a bit of resources and just energy expended for us to get here to tell you this message.
Fine.
And then he straightens up and then kind of looks around and
What would happen?
Okay, so he kind of frustratedly sits up and then takes both of his cucumber slices and then looks around and then sees the twitchy dwarf and then the dwarf and the gnome wading into the steps and then the two strange orc and a dragonborn sitting to each other, and then he looks around the surface of the water to see if the naiad is there and can't see her.
You can... I guess my time here is ruined.
And then he kind of starts gathering his things.
You may accompany me to my room, because...
But you have...
From here until the room, to sell me. To sell you? Yes, sell me on this very important message, because I am not going to let you into my room, because who knows who you were sent by, or whatever. So, you have until... You have the walk from here until my room to sell me. Chainco!
And then he yells over at the dwarf who... Yes, circumstance.
Come here.
And then Chenko wades over.
Gather my belongings.
Well, I just want you to know that I'm also a nobleman.
Yes. And as soon as we get out of here, then you can be... just gather my things for me.
And then Chainco then reaches down and then starts collecting circumstances items, and then looks up and then sees Toot Toot still holding up the pan flute and the doppelganger coin, and then he starts putting it back onto his chest, and Chainco goes,
Now wait, now hold on. That is a magnificent opal.
Yes, I just wanted to show this gentleman. Yeah. I just wanted to show this gentleman because he appreciates fine, precious gems and jewels. And then Chaingo goes,
Well, actually, I am really good at diamonds and sapphires and rubies. So, my family comes from a long line of precious jewelers.
Wonderful.
Yes, if you're ever in Citadel, Adbar, then look up Chainco at chainco.com.
All right, so with that, then Circumstance kind of stands up, and it's this very sleek, fit, handsome elf, and he stands up and kind of grabs a towel and then throws it around his waist and puts on the robe. And he has like the six-pack and really perfect, flawless skin. And then
Chainco, who follow me.
And then he starts going out, and then Chainco follows behind him. Well, right away, sir. And then Toot Toot. Oh, okay. So Toot Toot's following. And now, in this kind of procession, these three, hold on, are now walking this way, and as they head towards the exit of this, what is this? The Bath and Hot Spring, then Toot Toot like looks over at Tipsy and Onyx. Onyx is just sitting. He flumped down on the stairs and is letting the water just lap onto his chest. And then like his braids are starting to float up in the water, like the dreads, and then Tipsy's splashing around, just being a nuisance as general. And then Rock looks up and goes, I will catch up with you later. I'm still looking over this. And he says, as AU is looking up and then starts running her fingers through the water to her side, kind of watching Tipsy and smile, and then starts to like splash just outward. So Toot Toot and Circumstance, the handsome elf, and Chainco are walking downwards, and then Toot Toot says, because they now entered into T2, which is that hallway where the changing rooms are, and then he goes, okay, so this is of the utmost importance. I was sent by I was told that you are a nobleman. And then they pass Sayef, who is just twisting his torso again to follow them, and Toot Toot hushes up while they head this way. And then they go into this room, and then besides the music, then it's kind of quiet. No one is really saying anything. Like the nameless employees and the nameless customers. With a 3. 3 plus a 3 perception. Toot Toot then enters in and then notices that no one's saying anything. The nameless employees and then the nameless customers. So then they keep walking. So Toot Toot, when they're halfway through the lounge, then Toot Toot says, yes, I was sent by some of the people from, let's just say anywhere. And they are concerned because some bad people from, let's just, nowhere in particular, they are coming for the people of anywhere. And they pass through those doors and then into an empty hallway, and then Toot Toot then says more. Yes, so I was sent by the princess to relay the message that the people from anywhere and are in danger because nowhere knows that they are in Waterdeep. So we have found the princess and then her bodyguard and then the tutor, and you were the last person on our list to inform. So we just wanted to, we couldn't find you in Waterdeep, so we had to go through the Prizes Beauty, and we found you here, and so I just want to make sure that you are safe. As Toot Toot finishes, let's do this. Okay, and then after telling this, and then Circumstance is standing there, and he was listening to it, and then he opens his door and steps back and goes,
Chainco, you may put my stuff in my room.
And then Chainco goes, oh, all right. Oh, hold on. And so then he goes into the room and then drops off the fancy folded clothes and stuff, and then comes out. Are you okay, sir? I just heard all of that, and I just want to make sure you're fine, because you promised me that when we get out of here with all of your riches and then all of my personal matters taken care of, that you would set me up in Waterdeep.
Yes, no, everything will be fine.
Chainco, you may leave now. But I just want to make sure that our deal stands.
You may leave!
And then Chainco, with Circumstance doing an intimidation roll of 18 plus something, then Chainco, all right. And then with a 4, then Chainco kind of just scurries down the hallway and then goes into number 5, which is his room. So then Circumstance, with a graceful, like, leg extended outwards, toe and then heel, slithers closer to Toot and goes,
Well, thank you very much. The message has been delivered. Now what?
Then Toot goes, oh, well, we've gone through this great effort. Do you want to come back with us so that we can keep an eye on you? Because the other doppelgangers and shapeshifters were concerned, and they might have to leave Waterdeep, so they wanted us to find you.
And you have congratulations. Now, do you offer safety?
Well, we haven't really gotten to that part yet. We just wanted to inform everyone that could possibly be connected, because Nowhere sent an elite force here called the Mahouts, and they are the most dangerous people that I know.
I have heard of these Mahouts, yes. So you are not able to offer me safety. And the other 3, if you were able to find them so quickly, then they are probably not safe. But it took you a while to find me here, which speaks to me that this is the safest place that I can be.
Well, no, I don't believe that, sir. Circumstance. Then Toot bows, as a second thought, and then Circumstance, more amused than having it mean anything, then Toot straightens back up. I feel that something is not quite right. It's not settling well with me and some of the other members of my team. So I personally think that it might be best for you to come back with us.
Well, that is very nice. Toot. But I am here for at least another day, so, convince me.
Pardon?
Convince me to Toot the Loxodon Bard.
I don't remember if they introduced themselves, but
convince me to Toot the Loxodon Bard. This seems just a wonderful place. Such a fine place. So, why should I go with you and whoever else is part of your little adventuring team, where I have meals here, I have drinks, I have help, I have spa treatments. Why should I go with you?
Well, because we are victorious. We have gone out of our way multiple times to help people, and frankly, I don't enjoy your tone of voice. And you could stay here, however, my instincts are pretty incredible. So, if you stay here, then something will go wrong. And I don't know what it is, I don't know when it is. But if you stay here, it will be at your own risk. Then Circumstance will roll against Toot's persuasion. Ooh-wee! Toot rolled a 16 plus 8, so that is 24. And then Circumstance rolled a 19. Plus, let's say, Insight is good. Wow, that's really... Excuse me, I'm sorry.
speaking like this does a number.
One water bottle down. You know, this is a good episode where a lot of stuff happens when I go through a water bottle. So, as a general rule of thumb, if I don't have people's stats without like flipping through 80 pages, then I roll. For example, Toot rolled a 16, and then he has a +8 persuasion. And then, just to make it more interesting than saying anyone has a flat 0 across the board for the six ability scores, then I rolled for Circumstance the 19, but plus Toot's Insight, which is 3. So that's a 24 versus a 22, which is amazing. So Circumstance looks up at this tall Loxodon and goes,
Very well. But when we go back, I need to take that pathetic excuse for a dwarven nobleman back with me. But we have to go tomorrow because my magical treatment is scheduled for tonight. And no matter what you say...
Toot starts up, but Circumstance shuts him down.
I came here for the magical treatment, and I will not leave without the magical treatment. So, the earliest you can get me up is 11, 11:30, 12 tomorrow. Good evening.
And then Circumstance opens the door to number 4, then closes the door, and then Toot is just there. What is up with these circles? They're kind of weird, huh? Interesting. Something's up with those circles. But Circumstance is now in his room. Chainco is in his room, and Toot is standing there. And just kind of in disbelief, Toot's standing in the hallway. He will just listen. 5. Golly. And an 18. Okay, cool. Because he's listening, he's using his keen hearing, so his ears flap out. And then he's just kind of taking in this hallway. And he can hear like scratchings and mumbling in room number 4. But it's like you can hear the music piping in, the like almost elevator music. And then like as Toot focuses, then even like the music is tinny and it's sounding more fake the more you pay attention to it. And then just the colors don't seem right in this hallway. He can't put his finger on it. And so then Toot will start going back down the hallway and then into the lounge where he sees Tipsy and Onyx in the middle of the lounge, like bumping up against Toot.
Oh, hey. We just wanted to make sure you were all right.
Yeah. Is everything fine? You left with the 2 guys.
One of them who just he looks like Waddles when like you wash him and then you dry him off and then his hair's just all poofy.
Oh, yeah.
And Toot goes, well, let's talk, because then he looks over to his right at the nameless employee, who then kind of just snaps into attention. Let us talk back with Rock so we can share everything all together all at once. And then they walk across the lounge where no one is speaking, and the nameless employee behind the bar is like just watching them go, as are the 2 nameless customers. and you can't hear anything except the music being piped in. And as they get to this door of the lounge, then Toot Toot with he doesn't even need to roll because he has a big old trunk, which means he has a big old snoot, and he smells that the very pleasant smell of the lilies when they first came in. It smells really loud and chemical now. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. Let us go to the pool. This is really creepy. And then they open the door, and then Saith is already facing the door, and then Toot Toot starts like walking very quickly to the to just the bathhouse and spa. This is scaring me, y'all. This is weird. And then Rock, with both spell books closed in his lap, then is watching AU splashing around in the shallows of the bath. And then let's get Serena her own token. Bop, 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 bop. No, I hate this. Bop. Just make it nice and easy. All right, so Serena now is standing. Is now like sitting crisscross applesauce on the water, on the surface of the water, and watching pleasantly and with a smile on her face AU splashing around and just splashing. Dodie or something says, I know, right? I am creeped out and worried for them. Good. So Toot Toot then then like quickly move over here to Rock, who is staring at, come on, let go. There we go. Just staring blankly at AU, and then feels the presence of the boys. Something terrible happened, and I don't know what it is. Gentlemen, something is wrong here, he says, turning around. And then Toot Toot goes, well, I have some good news. So, in that corner was Circumstance, so I told him that nowhere is coming, and I, stubborn little asshole, but he agreed to come with us, but it's tomorrow. So, we could go back to Waterdeep now, but I would feel that this mission and quest would be incomplete, and it would help me a lot to see Circumstance back, because it would help Princess Bonnie and Tiffany and Sheen the most, just to have them all together and then all of them to find safety. But also, there's a naiad who is like a female water spirit who is here, and she says that this is her hot spring. Thank you, Serena. And then Serena, sitting on the surface of the water, looks up and is just now watching the four boys, and she's like hovering, floating on the surface of the water, and kind of just drifting forward and back a little bit, and up and down as AU splashes and makes waves. So she says that Sylvari was here 10 years ago, but then she disappeared, and then the three owners came in, so I'm guessing that's Morgana and Peggy, and what was the other name that they said? Auntie Warmheart? So, Sylvari, why does that ring a bell, Rock?
Well, when we first picked up The Price of Beauty, then it said
something to the effect of... Oh, so Sylvari Silversong wrote The Price of Beauty. So when you look into the book, so in the back of the book, then Sylvari Silversong wrote, "A mirror is the gateway to happiness, truth, and to accepting ourselves." Well, that's interesting because Serena said that the water does not lie. So both of those are very interesting, but anything else? Was there another thing? Yeah. Okay, so when they first looked into the book right before the magic portal opened up, then the image of Seun, who is the goddess of love and beauty, says, if rest, relaxation, and transformation is what you need, then follow the lilies, dearest one. I am sure Salvari will see to your needs. So that's where the name rung a bell. So then Tutu said, yes. Very creepy. But Serena said that if we find Salvari, then she can, if we help her, if she's still here, then Serena will help us in telling us more about what's happening here with the three owners. I don't know. So what say you? And then they look northward to the big banks of windows looking outside, to the squat building across the way, the garden path, and then the circular stone tower, the cylindrical stone tower. And it is, in fact, getting to dusk. And so then Toot Toot is like, and it's getting nighttime. Well, that's just great. So it looks like we have to spend the night. We got rooms, so that worked out very well. And then tomorrow we can figure out more of this, huh? So, Rock, should we get AU to her room, or do you think she'll be fine here? And then Rock goes, no, I would really like to make sure AU is safe, because gentlemen, I looked through her spell book, and there are high-level spells. I know level 2, but she knows level 6, so that is quite high in the terms of... But mentally, I believe she's no more than a simple toddler right now. And such magic has to fight against such magic in order to reduce someone to those faculties. So that's, I'm concerned. And then Rock shuts his eyes and rubs his temple. And I have been lightheaded for a while, but and here, hold on a second. But I was lightheaded for a while, but my head grows heavy and my sight's growing dim. So I would really, I think a long rest will help. And then you hear the watery voice of Serena across the way over the splashing of AU saying, if you spend at least 1 hour in the baths, you gain a benefit, and the water does not lie. And then Rock, just wincing, scrunching up his face, goes, okay, a benefit. It might be good just to stay here and... I was gonna say relax, but since the manicure really...
To my words, and then Tutu looks down very concerned at his very smart friend and goes, Serena, is it a true benefit or is it a masked benefit? And then Serena gestures, like she moves her hand upwards and then her whole arm splashes and drips with a curtain of water and says, this dragonborn wizard was much worse before spending time in the waters. And then blast. All right. I say we spend a while here, but boy howdy, we keep an eye out on just the entranceways and make sure. Okay, so we spend some time here. 1 hour. 1 hour in the waters, and then we will make sure that AU gets back to her room, and then we will maybe take shifts for tonight. Dodie in the chat is yelling, "Get him out of there!" So they spend some time in the water. Let's roll some things. What do I roll? This is just not good. Oh boy. Boy. All right. So as they spend the first 15 minutes in the water, then Onyx goes, now wait a second. And he's looking down at his hands, which he's been covered in these like light scars because he has very dark skin. So these light scars, which he takes pride in, like those are physical trophies, like permanent displays of his bravery. And he's looking down, and sure enough, the water causes a creature's skin to appear healthier and younger, tones down the appearance of scars and burns, and helps to regrow lost hair. So, Onyx is like, "Oh, hey, Serena, is this part of it?" And then she goes, "Yes, we are restoring you greater." And then Rock goes, "Well, no, Rock will roll something." Hey, with a natural 20. Then he goes, "Oh, greater restoration. No, that is one of the best heals." Oh, and then oh, really interesting. Oh, okay, great. So, yes, Rock snapping his head up for the greater restoration clue. Siren, get out of here. I want to speak. Well, actually, it's pretty good because I can get. Cool. So, greater restoration. Ooh, that's a 5th level abjuration. Hot dog. So then, like, using some of his just thoughts, then Rock gathers them. Greater restoration. And so then he like breaststrokes out into the middle of the waters. Let's see. Onyx will be there, and then Tipsy's like over here, and then Toot is here, and then AU splashed forward, and then Serena's just kind of floating, keeping a little bit of a distance. But then then Rock's like does a breaststroke in, and then cool. Let me read out greater restoration, because again, my half-orc wizard knows up to level 2 spells, and technically he knows remove curse, which is a level 3 spell, but level 5 spell for magical waters, that's amazing. So greater restoration imbues a creature you touch with positive energy to undo a debilitating effect. You can reduce the target's exhaustion level by 1 or end one of the following effects on the target. 1, 1 effect that charmed or petrified the target. 2, 1 curse, including the target's attunement to a cursed item. 3, any reduction to one's target ability scores. Ew. 4, 1 target reducing the target's hit point maximum. So, 246. Literally, Victor did not know that was going to be a thing. So, that, yeah, Dodie or something in the chat says, oh, thank the gods. Yes. So, a creature that spends at least 1 hour in the baths gains the benefit of a greater restoration spell. The creature decides which of the spell's effects is bestowed on it. A creature... So, when they're here, then Rock, you can see him... like, relax how he was being relaxed as he was getting the manicure, but we as an audience see that as he's just kind of doggy paddling, then we see streaks of purple, like this dark acrylic purple mixing in the water. And then Rock looks down and he's like, wow, I'm feeling honestly a lot better. As the clock ticks forward, so it's like 40 minutes in. And then he looks down at his nails, and the nail polish itself is being washed away. And then Rock goes, oh my. I feel a lot better, and the nail polish is almost all gone. Something happened with the nail polish. Boys. And then he looks over at Tipsy and Onyx, and then Onyx is like, I want my scars back, as Tipsy is floating face down in the water. And then Tutu just, oh, no, Tipsy! And then he, like, splashes forward, and then Tipsy...
I held my breath for like 45 seconds. Did you guys watch? Hey, guys, watch. Watch me do it again. That one was like 2 minutes that time.
And then Tutu, oh, you little snot. I was so concerned.
Wait, what happened? Why?
Are you and then Rock across the way.
Are you feeling okay? I'm feeling completely stone cold sober. Which would have negated my previous sentence, but like I'm dyslexic, so yeah, I'm feeling fine. Like I want to drink, but
do not drink anything here. Everything that is offered to us, except for this water, which is miraculous and magical. The nail polish was tainted. The alcohol, besides poisoning you anyways, I believe has some ill effects. So don't drink anything. Oh, no! Don't drink anything while we are here. Don't accept food. Lotus. Oh, but not Lily, but Lotus. There was literary significance of plants that are drugs, so they will make you want to stay here, and opioids, and lilies are not that symbolic, but in that regard, but okay, we need to keep safe, all right? Okay, no more nail polish for me, well, except, and then Rock looks concernedly at his fingernails, and then he will try and cast a cantrip. And then he minor delusioned his own nails to be his heliotrope, but like a nice opaque with some sparkles, and he's like, oh, okay. Oh, I was feeling really dizzy there for a second, and I felt like my magic was something was off with that, okay? So maybe tomorrow if we run into some trouble, we can run back here to these waters and then greater restoration ourselves back to tip-top. And then Serena, sitting and listening patiently, she shakes her head. I'm afraid not. Wait, why not? Well, and then she like just floats backwards, and in the water you see these words start forming, and then you can read, a creature can benefit from this property of the pool only once per month. And then Tipsy reads that.
Oh, are you farting kidding me?
And then Serena looks at him.
I'm sorry. Thank you for the very nice healing water.
Okay, well, Serena, if I may, why does the water always tell the truth? Asks Rock.
And then Serena, ooh, interesting. I'm looking back at the limited resources sheet, and I was wondering, because right now all we have are some spell slots taken out. One of Tutu's Bardic Inspiration, which I still have here, Inspiration and Bardic Inspiration, written on Post-its, and then Rock's Relentless Endurance. So I wonder if Greater Restoration would restore a Relentless Endurance or a Bardic Inspiration or spell slots.
I don't think so.
It's just like big old curses. But as we're noticing that, then we're looking over at AU, who's still splashing, and she's getting tired. So, like, she wades over to the steps and kind of curls up a little bit. Like, letting the waves gently lap over her, sitting on the steps.
Why does water always tell the truth?
And then Serena goes,
Water, in its most basic form, is the purest. It evaporates, then collects, condensates, then precipitates, and in that it always
hold on.
It always restarts in the clearest form. So poisoned water will evaporate and then eventually regain into clean rain.
Okay, so that symbolically, that helps with the greater restoration, but why also telling the truth?
Tutu pipes up, yes, why? How did I pass the first test?
Well, besides greater restoration, this water also prevents evil from setting foot in it. Not bad, necessarily, but this pure water keeps out pure evil. Fascinating. What on earth does that mean?
And then, here at the final 55-minute watermark, then Serena cocks her head, looking at the double doors, and she says,
Your time is almost up. Help find Silvari, and I will help you.
And then Tutu goes, wait, what? And then she splashes back into the water as the double doors open, and we hear as a wheelchair enters into the space. And now it's pure nighttime outside, and you hear a wheelchair and then potting of paws and a as this giant mastiff enters into the space, sniffs around, and steps out of the way for a shadowed doorway. And in a wheelchair, squeaking forward, is another young elf. And this elf has layers, a shawl of verdant green and some browns, but is well layered. And as she wheels forward, then she has emerald green hair and a white veil over some pure white snowblind eyes. And she says,
Oh, hello. I am pleased to meet the newest guests here at the Restful Lily.
And all my boys freeze, and AU stops splashing around, and Serena is gone. Let's. How the heck do you spell Serena? Some of these names are like, what? Oh, but where is Auntie Warmheart? Did I mess up? Oh, I was moving Serena's. Bop. There she is. And she wheels in and is talking just... She's scanning the room, but she's talking towards the baths. Welcome to the Restful Lily. I heard that you are staying the night. How exciting. And I've also heard that you've met the other two owners, Morgana and Peggy. And then no one responds. And she... Well, do you know about our magical treatments? She squeaks forward, reaching the top with a practiced muscle memory. She reached the top of the stairs leading down into the waters. The biggest sales pitch of the Restful Lily is not its wonderful waters or its manicures, but we can restore youth. We can make you bigger and better, your best self. We can make you grow and strengthen you. All of you, she says, just like looking at the ceiling. You all feel young, so maybe not that so much, but we can transform you. Circumstance. He and another one of you, at least, can turn yourselves into anything you want already. But what if you can permanently turn into, say, a normal human, liked and tolerated by all races instead of a half-orc? Or the dwarf, instead of being freakishly tall, 5'1", which is tall for a dwarf, you could, say, be under 5 feet and be welcomed into dwarven culture with open arms. And then you hear Onyx huff, which, like, his breath disturbs the surface of the water. No? Well, last but not least, we can also enhance your abilities. So, let's say a force gnome could get even more dexterous. A half-orc wizard could become even more intelligent. A dwarf barbarian. She does in this, like, zebra giggle. A dwarf barbarian become even stronger. And a Loxodon bard even more charismatic. For the simple price of a small boon, we could turn your ability scores into something of legend. And none of my boys respond. And the childlike, playful AU has also fallen quiet. No? Well, enjoy your stay.
for you have paid for it in more than just the price of beauty. Now, if I may,
Then she kind of reaches for the arm of her chair, her wheelchair, and then lifts her fingers, and then a candle forms, already lit. And then a candle forms, and then she snaps her fingers, and then she lit a candle, and she goes,
let me lead you to your rooms. Your hour is now finished. Congratulations. You are restored.
And you can hear sloshing as 5 bodies. Except this, it's not an offer, more of maybe a command. And she will show the way to 5 bodies across, let's see, okay, since it's night out time. What was that, Victor? Since it's night time outside, then as they pass through, let's see, Toot Toot and Onyx will go first. Rock will lead hand in hand, will hold the hand. Let's see, they'll switch. Look how sad AU looks, y'all. Look how sad that Golden Dragonborn is. I did not mean to do that, but boy howdy, it sure turned out real sad. And then Tipsy's holding up the rear, being very stealthy and sneaky. So as she takes them all down this T2 area, Sayeth is standing behind his desk and is smiling real big as they all pass. They all pass up. Toot Toot didn't mean to stay behind. And then goes into the lounge where the nameless customers are gone and the nameless employees are gone. So as they pass through these halls, then it's dark, like some little, maybe a candle every 10 feet on a wall sconce. But when they enter the lounge, it is quiet and it is creepy. And you just hear as Auntie Warmheart leads them, and then the big huffs of the dog. Do I have the dog? Yes, I do have the dog. Oh, look at that big old mastiff. The dog is actually kind of leading the way. It's kind of a seeing eye dog, but every once in a while, then the dog would stare past. Come on, stop. Would stare behind him, looking at the guests, and it would accompany a kind of an onyx. Okay, you're just not an onyx growl. Whatever. We're gonna do this. And they go into the hallways. And then, what was the number that I rolled? 9? No, 2. Yeah, so Auntie Warmheart. Let's see. She will wheel to this little corner, and then she goes, I believe 3 of your rooms are down this hallway, and then Toot Toot, your room is number 2. And then she gestures with her left hand down the hallway, and then with her right hand to her right to show 2. And then Toot Toot will just stay here with, Tipsy and Onyx will lead the way to room number 7, which is their room. Bop. And they go in. Rock. The first someone speaking that's not Warm Heart in a while, Rock goes, "Excuse me, AU, what room number are you in?" And then AU looks up with kind eyes that look sad at Rock, and she looks at her open hand and then holds up this many fingers. So 5 fingers. She goes, 5. Just with this child simplicity. And then Rock goes, let me help you get over to room 5. And then they walk slowly and don't split up the party, says Dodie or something in the chat. And then Rock makes sure that, well, he sees AU kind of take from the terry cloth robe a key and is staring at the door kind of pathetically. And then Rock, "Here, let me help you." And then he grabs the key and then helps open the door. And then AU looks up thankful. And then Rock makes sure that the door is closed and then starts rubbing his now clearer head. But AU is safely in the door, and then thankfully we do hear a click. Bop. And so Rock then, walking back up the hallway, is looking, just staring at Auntie Warm Heart, who's just staring forward with a placid smile on her face. And as Rock gets closer, then the dog starts growling. And then Rock is hugging up against the wall. And then him and Toot Toot go towards... Oh, it's so creepy. Go towards the door of number 2. Toot Toot unlocks it. Rock goes inside. And then Toot Toot at the door with Auntie Warm Heart still staring down the other hallway, says, "Good night," unblinkingly, and then Tutu goes into the room and closes the door. So that, ladies and gentlemen and adventurers, is where we're going to leave tonight's story, the 9th episode. Holy crap, this is getting creepy and creepy and creepy. Well, hopefully, I don't know. Oh boy, good stuff. So, thank you very much for watching and listening. I'm Victor Rivera, and this was D&Me, a one-man show where I play with myself. I play D&D with myself. I stream on Wednesday nights on Twitch at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I upload the video the following morning, Thursdays, on my YouTube page. Today's show will be up tomorrow, Thursday, May 12th, and next week's episode will be live Wednesday, May 18th. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and a bunch of other stuff where? On my link tree. That's linktr.ee/D&Me Adventures and Like Gnome. And I roll which of my characters gives tonight's outro. Toot Toot did last week. Let's roll for this Creepy Zoid. Yup. Good. I haven't done a creepy, so this is excellent. Getting the flavor. 1 is Tipsy, 2 is Onyx, 3 is Rock, 4, 5, 6. 5, Onyx.
That was a pretty nice bath. So, did you guys know that about dwarves? How they don't like orcs and stuff? I like Rock a lot, so I don't think that Chango guy is good. So we're just gonna spend the night now. Tipsy, can I have one of the pillows?
Yeah, man. Here, there's like
7 pillows on this bed.
I only need 6 of them, so you can have this one.
Oh, cool. Thanks. I'm gonna sleep on the floor. I hope you don't sleep on the floor, or do. It's fine. I find it comfortable. Okay, good night.